guy back here just fist bumping. But over there, she's like. I'm sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to Rage of the Titans, and we're continuing on episode 4. All roads lead to hell. All right. I've honestly, it wasn't been that long since I played episode 3, but I've honestly completely forgot what's going on. Okay, so we had the guy who met up with that weird guy in the alley. You know what? I would have been trying to decide if I like the divinity path that we're on, because I've been like kind of leaning towards the divinity choices, as opposed to the humanity choices, which is interesting. I'm still trying to decide what that means entirely. I don't know. So far, it's almost like the difference between coldness and passion route in Legend of the Willow. So in cold, well, when I say coldness, usually it's kind of like not really standoffish, but I don't know, it works in that context because, you know, it's fine to be more reserved and things like that in that type of culture. But this is a completely different, this is more like American modern day-ish sort of thing. So, and I kind of get the same vibe that divinity is more standoffish and humanity is a bit more warm and emotional, I guess. But so far, I used to go for something a little bit more, you know, with a little more emotion to it. But so far, I feel like the divinity choices have been vibing with me so much that I've just been kind of picking them naturally. So it's not really it doesn't really sound like it's a bad thing. This is taking forever to load, by the way. Is it really just gonna load every single... This clip, you know, this clip kind of reminds me of, you're thinking about the show Lucifer on Netflix now. This kind of like I get vibes from that, but even though his clip doesn't look like this, I would get that vibe from it still at the same time. You know what I mean? This music is fun. Okay, chapter 4, All Roads Lead to Hell. Content warning. This chapter depicts the use of medicinal substances and illicit activities. Ooh, the club had a peculiar vibe. I think like... I'm sorry, that shouldn't be funny, but it is. Like just so you know, we do not support using drugs, okay? It's just happening in our stories. That's okay. A thick layer of artificial fog was covering people in the dark space. The patrons were enjoying the setting, basking in the crimson neon lights. At some point, I just stopped looking around. If you haven't noticed, I got more sleep now, so I'm feeling a lot better. And his help is the weekend. My husband's here too to help, so yay. Oh my gosh. That looks crazy. There were too many people. It made me feel uneasy. It was for me too. Clubs are not my scene. Marshall noticed my embarrassment and also stopped. Are you okay? I'm not used to being in places like this. I kind of feel like we should change our hair to fit the vibes. Because, where is it? Ah, yeah. We're vibing that. That's interesting. Oh, should we work that? No, let's go back to this one. She looks like a badass in this. Okay, all right. Yeah. I'm used to being in places like this. Not a fan of clubs. Not a fan of crowds. I didn't know you were an introvert. Why would you know? Like, we met this dude all at once, and we were talking about more important things, like the disappearance of my brother. Like, that was a weird thing for him to say. Why would you know? Don't worry, it shouldn't take long. We leave soon. Do you trust me? Once again, the same conversation. We just met. No, I don't trust you. I don't implicitly just trust anyone. Doesn't matter if they're a police officer or not. And he's not even a police officer. He's a consultant. He offered me a hand, clearly expecting an answer from me. We're playing nice right now, okay? Until we find out who to trust. See, we have to be nice. We have to get into their mindset. Figure it out first. And then we smack people with the, no, I don't trust you, I hate you. Okay. I trust you. Sure we do. Put my hand in his palm and he squeezed it tightly. Finally, there's some rapport between us. I thought I'd never see it. It just seems like a really odd conversation. I think that's my problem with the relationships in the story so far. It's just like a certain one of like there should be some sort of familiarity here that we didn't get to witness, so we don't feel it. But in this case, it's even weirder because there's supposed to be some sort of familiar. He's acting like as if there's been a long time that we haven't been on the same page, but we haven't known each other that long, so it's not that weird for me to finally be showing some, I don't know, trust or something. I don't know. He smiled again and I followed him deeper into the club. Marshall likes that you trust him. All right. Most of the people were out on the dance floor, so it was not difficult to find an empty table. Have a seat. Is there anything you want? Before I had a chance to answer, he gestured to a nearby waitress. She merely put on a big smile and swayed her hips as she headed towards us. Good evening. What can I get you? Oh, she's cute. Hi, sweetie. What are the options? Sweetie? I couldn't help but roll my eyes and it didn't go unnoticed. So, what are the options? I'm kidding. I really like when he bites his lip though. He looks really cute like that, even though he still gets on my nerves sometimes. He's not that bad. London mint swizzle, toddy grog, virgin mojito. The mint in this one is, I love these little glasses. These glasses are so cute. But the mint is calling me. I know these choices don't matter, but still. But I am a fan of having a mojito. Even with the alcohol in it. I think mojitos come with tequila. And like, I don't like a lot of different types of alcohol, but I think tequila is okay sometimes. I don't really drink. I'm more of like a wine drinker. It's been a while since I had wine, since before I got pregnant. I haven't had a glass of wine since then. I guess I just got used to not drinking it. I should get a glass of wine. Sorry. But anyway, let's get the London mint. No. We get the mojito. I would stick to what I would actually order. I know it's virgin, but still. Great choice. I'll get your drinks. Marshall turned to me and beamed at me charmingly. Why did you react so strangely when I called her sweetie? Because I know some people do it. Like some guys do that. It's like, you know, just terms of endearment. They just kind of wash over most women. It's still a little strange sometimes. You kind of have to get into the mindset that that's just how this person is. But yeah, it was a little strange. Do you call all waitresses sweetie or just the pretty ones? So you think she's pretty? I felt my face start turning red. Can't deny the obvious. Is that a yes? What is with this conversation? Like, okay, I asked you a question. You didn't answer it. You asked another question. Then I answered your question. But he's looking like, what? I went to finish my sentence, but by that time the girl came back with our drinks. If you need anything else, I'd be glad to help you. Thank you, sweetie. He gave me a doubtful look and took his glass with an innocent air. The witches hurried away to another table. You're a horrible man, do you know that? Of course, it keeps me up at night. I smirked a couple of steps and put the glass back onto the table, leaning back. He's not awful. He's not my favorite person, to be honest. Like, okay. Let's get to the point. What did you find? You know, you're a funny one. Your reaction seems strange. Oh, what were we talking about? I don't mean to offend you, just, you know. What? Usually everyone who comes to the precinct has the same expression on their faces. At first they scream and blame the cops. And then the hysterics are replaced by fear, and you find yourself sitting surrounded by paper napkins and coming down another wrong person. And you seem too calm, I guess. It's scary and fascinating at the same time. I thought about what he said. Indeed, I wasn't showing any particular emotion, but that didn't mean I wasn't in pain. Okay, I think this is kind of going back to how she kind of behaved in the first but really to me it wasn't her that I had a problem with. It was how mostly Heather behaved as if she shouldn't be feeling any type of emotion. And like it was weird that she was sad about it. And her and this like what's wrong thing, it was very strange. But I don't know, I kind of already got the fact that she wasn't, I guess it's easier because we're internally in her head, and just like certain lines that she said, like it gave the weight to the fact that she had obviously was thinking about her brother and she was just trying to piece it together. Like she seemed like the person who, in order to deal with that pain, she needs to, you know, charge at it, you know, kind of like solve it in a sense. So she was just immediately like, okay, so my brother's missing, I need to find him so I can do whatever it takes, so I need to get my head in the game and let me try to do that. Like that seems kind of like how she is. Like instead of just sitting around wallowing in grief, you know, everybody deals with it differently. And I've already got that vibe from her. But I think some people thought that she should be a bit more emotional about it. But to me, I felt like there was bits of emotion coming through from her, but I don't know. But yeah, I can definitely see that, I suppose. I was pretty antisocial as a child, and it didn't take me long to figure out people usually didn't care about other people's problems. It seems that the louder you scream, the more you get ignored. Oh, absolutely. Which is just sad, but... And the more you get ignored, the less you want to share your worries with anyone. Only when true friends appeared in my life did everything gradually become better, although it was still hard for me to show my true emotions in public. I don't know how I'm supposed to react. It doesn't mean I don't care. It's like I'm empty or overwhelmed. Huh. Empty or overwhelmed. I don't get the overwhelmed feeling. Like empty sounds. It's probably the divinity choice, to be fair. Like I said, more cold and standoffish, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not what I'm, you know, 'cause sometimes you just feel empty, like numb. You know what I mean? I guess look at the feel for her. She's like numb and she's just like working on autopilot to, you know, solve the mystery. So that's what I'm feeling like kind of numb to it. Were you close to your brother? Very. He was my world, but at the same time, you know, I feel like a battery running out of charge. There's just some left, but I don't know when they were completely out of power. There are no tears, no tantrums, and I get angry because I don't understand myself. I can't understand how any of this happened. Do you feel guilty for not going through the loss like the way others do? Probably. Marshall lowered his gaze guiltily. He did not mean to hurt me, but he found my weak spot without realizing it. I want to find him, and I want the culprit to be severely punished. I'll do everything I can, I promise. Do more? I noticed this person changed under my scrutinizing stare. His regret became firm confidence. He nodded and turned to the stage, watching the waitress as she approached us. Hello again, just checking if everything's fine. How do you like our cocktails? They're amazing. Could you bring us some more, please? Of course, glad you're enjoying them. And this one's for you. She put another glass before me, adorned with an unusual flower. Do not drink it. Phlegathon. Phlegathon. It looks cool. Do not drink it. But I didn't order anything. Someone from that booth over there sent that to you. Turned around to point out the booth, but there was no one there. Guess he decided to stay an anonymous admirer. Well, then I'm anonymously not gonna drink this damn drink. I guess. Don't be discouraged. Maybe he'll show up later. Excuse me for now. I gotta go. If you need anything, you know where to find me. She's adorable. I gotta get this picture. She winked at me before leaving. My cheeks turned pink again. Of course, Marshall didn't let it slide. You're blushing. Is it that easy to embarrass you? I wonder who this mysterious stranger is who orders such an odd drink. I've never seen one like this before. He reached out for the flower crowned the glass. Its petals were white, oblong, riddled with red lines. Strange. Seems vaguely familiar to me. We're off topic. Focus. We were supposed to talk about something. What were we supposed to discuss? Suddenly I realized I got so relaxed that I'd forgotten about the purpose of our meeting altogether. The feeling of comfort was enveloping me, clouding my thoughts. Pleasant warmth spread throughout my body, giving me peace. You drunk the drink, didn't you? Nothing in the world existed anymore. No worries, no problems. But right. Tom, you had to tell me about the investigation. But how come I've forgotten about it? You drink that drink. Weird. It escaped my mind completely. How come? Are all the drinks drugged? So, I tried to reconstruct your brother's schedule for the last several days. While I was looking, I came across an interesting thing. Tom got into a fight with some benefactor's son here at the club. And then he spent almost an hour in Miss Newman's office. Ramona told me the same thing. Speaking of her, who's she? I recapped the day's events to him. Marshall listened attentively, occasionally washing down details of my story with his cocktail. Okay, so he's still drinking the cocktail. Let's see if his mind slips again. When I finished, there was a short pause. Marshall thought about some of the information for some time and then said, "It's weird how collectively these events make sense. None of it individually makes sense, however. What about the people who left a note in your apartment? Have they showed up yet?" "No." "Hey, Nancy Drew. If you learn anything, call me immediately. If something goes wrong, I can cover you. Do you understand?" "Yes." "So, why are we here? Did we come here so you could talk to her?" "Exactly." "Tell me, are you suspecting any of the business partners? You think Miss Newman is involved? Could it be someone else?" Let's go with this one. It all depends on the motive. If Tom got into the fight to protect Ramona and messed up some rich kid's face in the process, I wouldn't be surprised. But then I don't understand why he would leave a note for you. You know, wasn't it weird that Ramona kind of seemed like out of it? Like she had been like drugged or something, or influenced by somebody's powers. Because remember, we are talking about somehow this ties into ancient Greece. Somehow. That's when they said they know who we are. Anyway, I don't understand why he would leave a note for you. I like the expression on his face. Don't mind me. I'm being weird. Well, I was thinking, but sorry, I didn't continue my thought that maybe she had been drinking some of these cocktails as well, and maybe it's the cocktails of the place, but he seems kind of fine now that we've gotten back on target. Just like for a moment, like maybe it's the smoke in the air. I don't know. You weren't here. What makes you think Miss Newman would talk to you at all? She and I are good friends. So, how did you know each other? She's a client at my auto shop. Do you have an elite auto shop downtown? I scoffed, leaning back on the sofa. I could hardly believe Miss Newman would use the services of an ordinary car repair shop. She loved her cars too much. Marshall smiled slyly. She uses an elite shop on weekdays, but she comes to me when she needs to boost her car for racing. But you're a police consultant. Technically I am, but before I got this job, I organized car races around the city. And one time we all got busted. They offered me a good deal. And you said yes? Of course I did. Do I look like an idiot to you? Besides catching criminals, helping people, it's something real. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that Marshall, a police consultant, was once a lawbreaker himself. Well, I mean, that's a good way to get into the consultant business. I mean, it'll make you a good consultant, so it's pretty easy to wrap my head around, actually. I gave him an appraising look and he laughed. Don't look at me like that. I know that look. Nope, I don't think I was doing a bad thing. Racing for me is like a breath of fresh air. Not to mention how much I love getting under car hoods. Why are you so surprised? Do you and Miss Newman know each other? You could say that. The thing is, again, my train of thought was interrupted by the waitress approaching us. Oh, and this time she seems a little flustered. I wonder why she's so nervous. Excuse me for interrupting. Miss Newman asked you to come to her office. Both of us? No, just a young man. Great. Maybe I'll finally learn something. Russia got up, but immediately had to grab onto the table. He chuckled. Yeah, those were some good drinks. Don't worry, I'll show you up to her office. I'll be back soon and we'll finish the conversation, okay? I'm not staying here by myself. We had a conversation and you can fill me in later when I'm safely back at home. Or not at home, in Miss Newman's house. So I guess it doesn't matter. Without waiting for my answer, he offered the girl his arm and they walked to another room. When this appeared from my sight, I threw my head back and stared at the ceiling. My thoughts were all jumbled together. Despite this, I was feeling perfectly calm. While Marshall was with Miss Newman, I could go for a walk, have a drink, or find Jason. Oh yeah, I forgot Jason was supposed to be here somewhere. I think we had enough drinks, so no, I'm not gonna be having a drink. I love these people in the background. I don't know what the hell this girl's doing over there. She's like... I'm sorry. We're gonna find Jason. I'm not gonna be going walking by myself somewhere. Go for a walk where? Doing what? Let's go find Jason. I got up and headed to the dance floor. I looked around and failed to spot Jason out of the crowd. This guy back here just fist bumped me. I need to ask a waitress. Maybe someone saw him. Luckily, one of them was just passing by me. She said she saw a guy who matched the description. He was walking outside. I think turned and headed out. I didn't see Jason in the crowd but the entrance either, so I headed to a small park across the road. This is getting more and more sketch. This is kind of pretty, actually. At least the music is nice and soft and calm, so it doesn't read completely dangerous. There was practically no one there. The soft lighting gave the place an unusual atmosphere. I sent Jason a text. Where are you? Use English, please. Pocketed my phone and entered the gazebo. The park looked serene, even though the thunderstorm looming over the city had threatened to disturb its usual peace of it for the coming days. I was looking at the people passing by and the fireflies that flew into the light of lamps. The scenery seemed perfect for resting both body and soul. What are you doing here? There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. Does my phone indicate that? Did you call me? Where have you been looking and how exactly have you been looking? I'm sorry. But right, like, because she just pulled out her phone to text, so she would have saw missed calls from Murphy, or even a text message. Murphy jumped onto the steps and got into the gazebo, stopping next to me. How did you find me? Yeah, because you didn't message me. It wasn't difficult. You've always loved beautiful, secluded places. But me being here is completely random. Murphy, you sketch. But he's smiling. He looks cute. I'm sorry. And his gazebo seemed like a perfect match. Oh, and now here's the sexy face. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I hadn't decided who I'm gonna date yet, but when he run around looking like that, it's just really hard. He leaned against the pillar and looked into the distance. I felt awkwardness between us. Usually self-assured and bold, now Murphy seemed too calm and pensive. I didn't want to hurry him, so I kept watching the fireflies silently. Several minutes passed before he decided to break the silence. I've been meaning to ask you something. Huh? Why did you and Adrian break up? Be honest. The blunt question caught me by surprise. Please answer the question, because I need to know as well. Why are you asking? Just answer the question. I just want to know the truth. I cracked a smile but didn't dare to look directly at him. You see? We were in high school back then and every little thing seemed like a disaster. A failed exam or college admission, never receiving an answer from the university you wanted to get into. I remember. Adrian was really worried about it. We started drifting apart, the cracks started showing, and the most usual things became rare. Watching movies on a Saturday night, walking in the park, driving out of town. And you decided to end it all before... Yes, we met and discussed everything. This decision seemed the most logical one. We both treasure each other. And since he's dear to me, I was honest. Suddenly he straightened up and came a little closer to me. The way you handled it is admirable. Usually when people break up, they sling mud at each other, blacklist each other, and then call from a different number at 3 a.m. to talk about their feelings. People are selfish. Getting into a relationship is a person's own choice. There must always be mutual respect, however bad the situation is. I can agree with that. Murphy shot a glance at me, full of regret. He leaned against the pillar again. I wish someone loved me like that. Here's my problem with this. Saying this is like an admission of being in love already. And this is like my problem I had with the whole Jason situation, him being like, I love you. Because it seems like these things should be happening maybe at the beginning of next season even, not at the beginning or mid season on this first season. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like I don't even know who I want to date yet, and they're just out here talking about slinging, love around and everything like that, and which is fine because they're supposed to have been close all this time, except they haven't been. Like I said, these people don't even feel like friends, let alone all this. But okay. I'm just feeling a little disconnected with the relationships here. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about it. I wanted to lower my eyes, but he wouldn't let me. He came close to me and raised my chin, making me look straight into his eyes. In the warm lighting of the gazebo, they were glistening like gold, but I saw alarm in the middle of his gaze. It was the first time I ever saw him like that. Vulnerable. Murphy, don't say anything. Please. I don't want to regret this. He kissed my cheek and held me close. His strong arms hit me in the embrace, and he lowered his chin on my shoulder. We were standing in silence in the empty gazebo. I buried my nose in his neck, feeling the rapid beat of his heart. Please give me a chance. Give me a chance to prove I'm no worse than the others. No worse? It's implying that they're all... something's going on and something's wrong with all of them. But he's saying he's just as bad as them and not any worse than they are. So they all have something that's a flaw. It's kind of like... remember the Shadow of Saint 4? You just try to find out who has the least amount of damage to date. Because Luke with the whole dragon thing and then abandoning you for like a decade. That Michael's an asshole who tried to set you up and like pull like this horrible prank on you back in school. Stephanie is like super, super jealous and like just not okay. And Cherry and Aaron, they all have their own problems, of course, obviously. And the masked man, don't get me started, John. They're two of the villains in the story. So yeah, I feel like this one is kind of like that, where something is off about all of them. He's trying to say that, I'm not the only one. Like, I may be shady and I'm doing things that are probably not great right now, but I'm not any worse than they are, I promise. Even though I'm still concerned that he's the one specifically who set the attack on my brother and abducted my brother. Honestly, right now, my biggest theory is that it's Murphy. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm still curious. Don't say that. That's when I realized what Murphy was actually afraid of. He's afraid of being unworthy of love. Afraid of being rejected. That's why he builds up walls. That's why he tries to pretend to be someone he doesn't want to be. Oh, Murphy. I touched his cheekbone with my fingertips. He smirked slightly and traced my neck with the tip of his nose. It sent shivers down my spine. His soft lips left a light kiss on my cheek. Our idyll was broken by the sound of a text message. So my phone does work. He just didn't text me. I took out my phone and read a message from Jason. Apparently he went outside for fresh air, was now waiting for me by the club entrance. Let's go. He's waiting for me. Who? Jason at the club. I guess we should go back, but I really don't want to let you go. There was frustration in his voice. Well, we'll have another chance to talk, I promise. Sure, Murphy has improved. He winked at me and grinned as he usually did. I took his hand and we walked back. Are you guys out of your minds? I've been looking everywhere in this club for you. You could have warned me. What the fuck? I texted you and I was looking for you. And when you went inside, you were like, oh, I got shit to do. Okay. And so as soon as I left, I texted you because I went to go and find you. What the hell is he talking about? What is everybody's problem? Special was uncharacteristically worried and annoyed. Excuse me? And I texted him, like, to tell him that I was out. Jason was always that one focused person who kept everything under control, especially his emotions. Maybe it's the booze? It's fine, don't worry. I just needed some fresh air. I could tell he didn't want to argue, but still he was worried. I put my hands behind my back, trying to hide the awkward feeling. Jason noticed it, however, and he exhaled loudly and tried to change the subject. He turned to Murphy. When did you upgrade the club? Last time I was here was very classic. I'm still weirded out by that. Did they change Jason's face? I swear he looks like his hair, I think, looks slightly different. But didn't Murphy's hair look different too? I have to go back. Look, I don't remember. Someone's hair was very classic. Why the sudden change in style? It's a new owner's order. We need a new look, so we decided to change the setting. It looks rather cool, frightening. I'm not even sure what to say. Honestly, I'm not even sure what to say. It's something. Many clubs are trying to do something special with their style nowadays. Allow me to disagree. Anyway, it's pretty authentic. If only you knew how hard it was to find a person who could recreate the idea. Jason was clearly interested in architecture, so Murphy took to telling him in detail the stages of the work they'd done. It was fun watching them talk, especially considering the fact they had almost killed each other this morning. Yeah. I wonder why they're talking to each other so calmly now. Adrian really resolved the conflict? A sharp gust of wind blew and I shivered. Why don't we continue this conversation inside? It's getting cold here. The guys nodded in agreement. Murphy gestured gallantly for me to go first. But the long line, the guards let us in immediately as soon as we reached the entrance. Oh, the music transition, how it's muffled outside. This time we passed to the main hall and headed to the next room. It was more lively than the main area, though that could easily be explained by the huge bar counter with unbelievable amounts of alcohol. The bartender noticed us sitting down at the counter and he immediately put a glass of that stuff in front of each of us, the same kind I got earlier from the waitress. But I didn't order this. I laughed and the bartender shrugged, innocent as if to say I've got nothing to do with it. Someone asked me to give it to you. Don't mind it, it's tradition. All new customers get a glass of Persephone on the house. But you're not new. What makes you think we're new here? We've been in this club before. Our bartender has a phenomenal memory for faces, but he's never seen you here before, so you're new to him. Okay. Jason took several gulps and turned to me. I've been meaning to ask you this. What's his name? Marshall? What do you want from you? He's here unofficially, but it's still a work matter. So, is there any progress? Honestly, I'm concerned about talking about the investigation with you guys. How about we go with not really? Because not really. Because, like, we have a note and some stuff, but we haven't made any progress. Well, I guess we find out where he was last night. I'm just concerned about who to trust here. How about we go with not really? There are no clues and nothing is clear yet. Murphy just nodded understandingly. Can we talk about something else? Well, I called Heather. Hope you don't mind. She says she'd be over soon. Adrian may be coming as well, but he's not answering his phone. Well, then how do you know he's coming? I put my elbows on the counter, hit my face in my palm, and sighed heavily. Did I say something wrong? I think she just saw through our plan not to leave her alone for a single minute. Hilarious, Murphy. You're acting like my nannies. Have I been left alone for at least one time today? Even a stupid person guess you keep an eye on me. Of course, did you have any doubts we would? Boys left at my indignation. Jason gave me a pat on my head, ruining my hair slightly. I immediately started fixing it. Melody, calm down. He didn't ruin anything. Jason opened his mouth for another snarky retort, but his phone rang, so he had to walk away. Murphy sat in Jason's chair to be closer to me and looked at me. I guess we'll be here for a while. Are you suggesting we take our minds off this? Why not? What do you want? No more drinking. What does powder my nose even mean? Dance. Let's go to the dance floor. With pleasure. Murphy got up and urged me to go to the middle of the dance floor. As I got into the crowd, I got confused for a short second, but Murphy was by my side with a big smile on his face. The crowd parted, giving the floor to us. I swear at that moment the whole world ceased to exist. The music changed, setting the mood. I swayed to the right, then to the left, and then my body got in sync with the rhythm. Murphy and I started dancing. First we were moving a bit awkwardly, but the longer we carried on, the more I enjoyed the music and the more I felt alive. I haven't seen you dance in a while. That's on you then. He mirrored my moves and it is on him. Because we stopped hanging out. He just kind of disappeared. He mirrored my moves and approached me as close as possible. He was wearing an arrogant, caddish smile, enjoying the moment. Several songs down, I felt a little tired, so Murphy proposed to get back to the counter. Found our way off the dance floor and landed on our seats. Our seats were still there? Murphy took his glass and had a few large sips. Did you order a new drink? I hope you didn't pick up the drink that you left there. Are you gonna get in trouble? You're at work. Nah, it's okay. It's basically soda to me. That's not good. He orders another round of cocktails. We just sat and talked about little things. We were reminiscing about our school years when suddenly my gaze fell on the crowd. My heart skipped a beat. Tom? It can't be. I rushed forward, pushing people aside, ignoring their protest. I ran up to him, grabbed his shoulder, and made him turn to me. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't Tom. I'm sorry, I mistook you for someone else. I thought you were my brother. The guy nodded understandingly and turned away from me. I turned around. Murphy, completely dumbfounded, was standing several feet from me and was staring at me. I came up to him and we headed back to the counter. I thought I saw Tom. But how did you... Melody, I'm so sorry. You must be really upset. But how did I what? How did I what? Think about him past the fog of this club that they got me in? Actually, I'm not. In fact, it's the opposite. For a moment, I even believed it was him. I don't understand. I'm not sure how to explain it, but I've got a feeling I'll see him again very soon. As if it was a sign? Murphy gave me a pensive look and then moved my glass away from me. Alright, we're done with drinks for today, princess. Suddenly a guard came up to us. He leaned over to Murphy and whispered something in his ear. Murphy nodded and sprang to his feet. I'll be right back, okay? Stay here. Fine. The moment Murphy walked away, an unfamiliar man approached me. There was something hypnotic about him. The way he moved, the way he looked at me. The way he was holding his glass, his thin fingers were grabbing it from the top. I immediately recalled Tom's words. Don't trust anyone. Oh, you meant these people. I thought you meant my friends. I've been holding them at arm's length like these people are shady. But you know what I think to get in my head though? They're allies, right? So as much as I should hold, like, I'm thinking about holding back from them. If they're allies, ultimately they won't be that bad. They can betray you though. Allies have done this in the past. They can't be doing some shady shit, but usually they kind of make up for it later, right? Like just I'll explain about the Michael situation and Shell the same for. But you mean like random ass people who come up to me and start asking me questions? Don't trust these assholes. Okay, I gotcha. Good. Okay, I feel a little bit better because I had kind of been like telling people the truth about stuff, certain things. Now I feel bad that I didn't tell them that there was some progress, but it didn't seem like it went over that bad. Anyway, may I sit down? Your melody, right? He put his glass on the counter and sat down without waiting for my permission. Creepy. He crossed his legs and gave me a broad smile. Somehow the smile sent shivers down my spine. How do you know my name? Let's say I've known your brother for a while. My name's Pierce. Well, that's shady since he's missing. His words caught me by surprise and the whole situation seemed strange to me. Pierce? What a peculiar name. No, it's not. Why approach me now? What does he have in common with Tom anyway? Tom never told me about you. I know. We had an agreement that our relationship would remain a secret. What kind of relationship? He ignored my question. I learned about what happened. I just couldn't stay on the sidelines. Tom was supporting me through tough times and I want to return the favor. How are you managing? You just ignored my question. You didn't tell me what kind of relationship. That means anything you say after that is completely untrustworthy. So like, why are you even trying to pretend like you care? Like, I don't buy anything you say after that. Like, that's just who I am. His voice was too sweet. The man seemed to be trying to find my weak spot like a predator stalking its prey. But like, you're trying too hard at the same time not being sincere enough. I had to give it to him. He was successful. Is he? How? What the hell is he anyway? I need to play along, but how exactly? Should I play on my sisterly feelings or show that he can't get under my skin so easily? How am I managing? I'm worried sick he can stand up for himself. We've already discussed that she's not that particularly that emotional. So I'm concerned to start outright lying like this would be a bit too out of character. So out of character that it would be obvious to a sleazeball like him, who kind of like seems like this con artist by heart. That would be pretty obvious that it's not what I'm going for. So I'm gonna lean into this vibe. Pierce looked up at me and froze for a second. I smiled with the corner of my lips as I noticed his reaction. If you do know my brother, you'd understand. He's not one to give up quickly. Sure, sometimes he's eccentric and emotional, but don't underestimate him. So you're not even worried about him? Not at all. I said it so adamantly that Pierce smirked. I guess he liked my reaction. He took several sips from his glass and licked his lower lip, savoring the aftertaste. You know, you're an interesting person. I'm impressed. The same guards before came to us. He nodded to Pierce, who rose to his feet. Excuse me, I have to go now. If you need anything, give me a call. He produced a business card and offered it to me. Anyway, I'll be waiting for your call. Why do you assume I'll need something? And if I need something, why would I call you first? I'm sure we have matters to discuss. Well, since you won't answer my first question, only I have are questions right now. And since you don't send me answering any questions, then you just want answers from me, then I'm sure we don't have anything to discuss then. He gave me a curt nod and walked away, leaving me alone. The moment he left, I felt less tense. Something is clearly off with him. It seemed very strange. I finished my cocktail and looked around. Most people were still at the dance floor. Everyone in the club seems happy. They're smiling, enjoying the moment, and it made me feel serene. But I didn't come here to have fun. Where's Marshall? How much more time do they need to talk? I hope he manages to get a clue. I feel like I couldn't think straight. My head seemed empty. The quiet whispering from all sides was lulling me to sleep. I put my elbows on the counter again, looked at the flower on the drink. Elongated oval petals with red lines on them, but the flowers seemed very familiar. Olympus, several hours before the attack. Okay, finally back to ancient Greece. They were sitting on the floor hugging. Persephone was clutching Hades' cloak with her thin fingers, heaving with sobs. She couldn't stop weeping as she buried her nose in the neck of the one she hated. Why are you here? I'll come for you. We need to leave. Leave. Leave me alone. If you stay here, you'll die. And you know I can't let that happen. She stroked Persephone's golden hair, but her voice was cold. Hades got up, helping her beloved up too, and dragged along. Persephone recoiled immediately, hugging herself. There was obvious fear in her eyes. Are you afraid of me? Is this news to you? Persephone lowered her hands powerlessly, looking away. Hades approached her and made her look up so that their gazes met. The goddess of spring clenched her teeth in fists as if she was ready to fight back. No, it's not that. Not afraid of me, you're afraid of yourself. You're afraid of whom you have become when you met me. You turned me into a monster. You kill everything you touch. And yet here we are. If you hate me so much, why didn't you go against your father's will? Hades' voice cracked. The goddess of spring bit her lip, regretting her words immediately. I don't know. I asked them why you become the way you are, but they all believe you're evil. Hades stopped smiling. What else did she expect? A tale of how we all lived happily ever after when we took Cronus down. Don't be so naive. There always has to be a scapegoat. No one is talking about it, but you went down to Tartarus when the battle with my grandfather was on. Why is everyone silent about it? Why is everyone silent about you? Hades sighed heavily. Her gaze, almost always indifferent, suddenly cleared up. The young goddess saw pain in her eyes for the first time in many years. Everyone is silent because no one wants to put your father in a bad light. But you were also there. It was easy to buy me off with the underworld so that my sole name would inspire terror. But Zeus became great. He saved the gods by throwing his father to Tartarus. And now I'm the one who has to watch this damn cage. I'm sorry. Don't be. A god needs to not provoking any feeling other than fear. It's not true, but still. I can't come with you. I'll fight alongside everyone. Don't be silly. What do I do? Try to persuade her or take her away forcefully. You've been doing a lot of forcing already. How about you try to prove her wrong that you're not evil by trying to persuade her? Your mother is safe now. Poseidon made sure of it. But the others? I won't be able to fight at full strength if I know that you were out there alone, without protection. I can't stand up for myself, you know that. I know. That's why I love you. Your self-sacrifice, your honesty. You're not afraid to give your life. But if you die, you'll never return to Olympus. And that's what you're afraid of the most. You're not going to... Please, go to our home. Thanatos and Cerberus will take care of you. I'll be back as soon as it's all over, I promise. Alright, I believe you. Thank you. Hades pulled her close and kissed her forehead. The ground and their feet opened slowly and hands gently grabbing Persephone returned her to the underworld. But see, that was much nicer. I don't have to like forcefully just shove her down into the ground. We could just casually put her down there. She changed clothes. This is significant. I'm gonna tell you why. Because most times in the stories, our allies, those people around us, they always have the same clothes on them for the most part, unless something like particular is going on, like we're at a dance or something, or we're going to undercover or something, or doing like a tournament or something like that. I'm thinking mostly of Heaven's Secret right now, but mostly they always wear the same thing. So it's good to see like them draw in different outfits sometimes for the characters, because it makes it feel more real. Like they would be wearing different outfits in different situations, and not just whatever. Like this is like a night out. Of course they're wearing different clothes, so I think it's cool. No, they don't always do that. Melly, I finally got here. The traffic jams are horrendous. Heather? But I bought a lot of stuff, you won't believe it. I'll show them to you later. My trunk is packed with bags. Heather leaned against the bar counter and gestured for the bartender to pour her the same drink as mine. So, how'd you end up here? Did you get any rest? Heather looked around, trying to spot Jason and Murphy, but failed and turned back to me. Where are the others? I don't know. Jason would talk on the phone and Murphy has work to do. When did you arrive? Just now? Have you completely lost track of time? I nodded. It seemed to me that no more than half an hour had passed, but the clock was adamant. It had been over 2 hours. I don't know why the time passed by so fast. Why is Marshall still in Miss Newman's office? At that point, Jason came back. He was clearly displeased with something, but as he noticed Heather, his expression changed immediately. He smiled broadly as he hugged her. Did you miss me? You bet. Nice. What are we going to do now? The bartender handed over her drink, Heather being blowing him a kiss. He blushed and got a bit embarrassed, returning to his work quickly. Poor guy. If only he knew how many hearts you've broken. Come on. I didn't break any hearts. Even if I did, it's on them. We all laughed. Heather looked at me and then her expression changed. Melody, you seem exhausted. If you're about to tell me to take my mind off of things, I swear to God. Am I that predictable? Yeah. Heather pouted, but she never could stay angry, and so she grinned almost immediately. Took me by my wrist and pulled me up. I want to dance. You just told me I look exhausted. Heather, no. I'm not taking no for an answer. You're coming with me. She pulled me harder, and I couldn't hold my balance, so I crashed into a guy nearby. He was holding a drink, and all of his contents ended up on my clothes. I'm sorry. The guy didn't even have a chance to answer. Heather started apologizing and muttered something about her awkwardness. Used the opportunity to run to the bathroom and wash the cocktail off. The moment I walked in, Heather followed me. Several girls were already there, left hurriedly. Hurriedly? Why? What the hell is going on? I grabbed some napkins and tried to wipe off the drink. Heather was watching me with curiosity, never interfering. Look, I've just been to a mall. I got some new clothes. Maybe something will fit you? Heather, you don't need to. Stop objecting. I'll go fetch them now. Heather ran away, ignoring my protest again. Emphasis on again. Like, this is my problem with her. Like, I don't know, people think she's really pretty or whatever. She is. But she's annoying as fuck. Like, I can't. God. The stain wouldn't come off, so I tried for a while and abandoned the attempt. Turned the faucet on, washed my face with cold water, stared at my reflection in the mirror. It smiled back at me. Okay. I knew about the reflection scene coming up. If only because they got the mirror wrong. And they were displaying the wrong MC in the mirror, which is really off-putting. No way. It can't be. I straightened up and realized with horror that the reflection didn't mirror my movements. On the contrary, its screen got wider. My exact copy leaned into the sink and fixed its hair. What the hell? I rubbed my eyes, trying to shake the delusion off, but nothing happened. Hey. What's going on? Am I in a riddling club? What? Why am I talking to my own reflection? Why not? I'm you, but on the other side of the mirror. I don't see any reason to turn down a conversation with yourself. You often do it anyway. My curiosity prevailed. I leaned over the sink, looking at my reflection more closely. For some unknown reason, I wasn't scared at all. For how long are you going to stare at yourself? I just don't understand how this could be possible. Are you alright? Usually people don't react to their reflections so calmly. Do you have any mood swings? Any unusual reactions? Considering all recent events, the questions seemed absurd, but they made me think. Actually, since you asked, somehow I feel very comfortable here at the club. That never happened before. It's not supposed to. Suddenly my expression in the mirror grew serious and my voice rang cold as metal. Do yourself a favor. Don't believe anything you see here. Ah, right. And don't drink anything anymore. I told you. I wanted to ask something else, but Heather burst into the bathroom with a bag of clothes. Here, try this on. Should be your size. Are we talking to someone now? Do we wear the same size? Why did you buy things for me? No. She lingered at the doorway, examining me with curiosity and puzzlement. Turned to my reflection, but didn't say anything strange this time. Just in case I squeezed my eyes shut, but even when I opened them again, my reflection was normal. Alright, let's cheese. I don't like anything, to be honest. And this kind of looking like the exact same dress we were wearing in black. It's like only slightly different. And the material just looks, it looks like it would feel good in person. But here, the material just looks bad. I don't really want to pay for that. I'll buy this even though I don't like the shorts. Yeah, I should buy this, I guess. I don't like the dress at all. Don't want to repeat myself, but I've got awesome taste. Now we need to style your hair and it'll be all perfect. That's really cute. I wouldn't have thought that this outfit would look good on you. I think it looks good on her. I just don't like the outfit itself. Heather smirked somewhat strangely and came a bit closer to me. You know what? Let's also fix your makeup. After all, we're at a club. We gotta fit in. All right. Crimson Dusk. I think that would look better on somebody else. Classic wings. Natural. I'm probably gonna go with natural, to be honest. Like something about the eye makeup on this is not hidden well for me. Although I would like her to have a fancier look, sort of say. But I mean, if you haven't noticed, obviously I'm not a big fan of heavy makeup. And I would go with this one, except that I don't particularly like it on her skin tone. What's this look in that eye makeup? I'm gonna go with natural. Aw, I'm too good at this. Look how beautiful you are. Heather hugged me from behind, tucking my hair behind my ear. Her warm breath burned my skin. Heather, let's get back. She smiled and nodded, but I could tell by her eyes that wasn't what she expected. What she expected? She expected me to be like... Let me stop scrutinizing everything that she does because I don't like her. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna pay for a gym scenes with her. I'm just not. I don't know. She isn't my cup of tea. I'm just saying. Heather fixed her hair quickly and left the bathroom without saying another word. I had no choice but to follow her. We went to the hall and I heard someone whispering, the same one I heard in the library. I turned around, but there were too many people. It seemed the sound was coming from below. Hey, what's the matter? The strange feeling tugged at my strings. This whisper, where is it coming from? I heard it again and walked to the side, closer to the exit. The sound grew stronger. Can you hear that? Hear what? Well, you're starting to scare me. I walked even further and expected the whisper grew even louder. It was coming from somewhere below, now I was certain. I'll be right back. Melody, stop. Don't! I ignored her. I ran downstairs and entered an empty hallway. There was a door at the end of it, so I headed towards it. The closer I got to the door, the harder it was to walk. I was overcome by fatigue. Each step was harder than the last, but something was pulling me there. What the hell is going on here? I shut the doorknob, but it wouldn't budge. Someone's hand landed on my shoulder. All the sounds disappeared at once. Well, hello, Melody. Persephone? What the hell are you doing here? Was it fun to play? This is awkward as hell. Not bad. It's awkward as hell. What's going on? I don't know, we spent the whole episode in a club. Like, the entire episode. Like, no time has really passed at all. When you think about it. Like, it's been like 2 days. The entire season. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm going to end this part right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and show the like button some love. Subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye.